Hey, I'm William from Northern Brewer Homebrew Supplies, and I'm here with our brand new stainless steel reactor conical fermenter. We're really excited to offer this brand new piece of equipment to the homebrewers out there, and we've had quite a bit of fun using it in-house here and trying different things with it. Today we're going to go over the reactor in action to spotlight its special features and to show you how great of an addition it is to your home brewery. In this video, we'll quickly go over cleaning and sanitizing the reactor, then look at usage on brew day and during fermentation, and even how the reactor can speed up your bottling day if you're bottling your home brew. Before we dive into it, if you like new equipment videos as well as full brew day videos, show us some love. Like this video, subscribe to Northern Brewer's YouTube channel, and share it with anyone you think might like it. We're about to show you the reactor in action, but first we want to show you the main components. As you can see, the reactor features 304 stainless steel, and it is 8.5 gallons. The reactor has embossed graduation marks every half gallon from 4 gallons up to 8 gallons, including every liter from 15 to 30. Its cone-shaped bottom helps separate and collect unwanted sediment like yeast and trub. It comes with a clamp-down lid with silicone ring plus an airlock stopper for an airtight seal. There is also an adjustable racking arm which gives you the option to position it downwards, sideways, or even upwards for those crazy triple New England IPAs that might have more sediment in the cone. There's a racking and sampling port with a 3/8 inch barb on the racking arm valve that makes it easy to take samples for gravity reading and taste tests. It can also help you with bottling, which we'll cover a little bit later. Below the racking port, you'll find an additional bottom valve, which is handy for draining the conical during cleaning or sanitizing, which features a 1/2 inch NPT male fitting. The whole thing is kept sturdy and well supported by 3 7-inch stainless steel legs, which feature rubber feet at the bottom. Alright, time to put the reactor into action mode. As with any piece of new equipment, we suggest a thorough cleaning and sanitizing routine, even if it's brand new. Before filling the reactor, make sure to close the sample port and bottom valve. Here we made a solution of PBW with about 2 gallons of water, then used the brand new scrub pad to wipe down the entire surface of the fermenter. Put the racking arm inside of the bottom of the cone to soak in a separate bowl of cleaning solution. Let everything sit for at least 5 minutes to let the cleaning solution do its work. It helps to open and close the sample port and bottom valve a few times to make sure they get exposed to the cleaner, and then drain the solution through them into the sink or tub. Spray and rinse the reactor with clean water several times, allowing the rinse water to drain from the bottom valve, making sure to remove all the cleaner. If this is happening on brew day, move on to sanitization. If not, simply store upright with the valves open and lid on until you are ready to use it. On brew day, sanitize the fermenter. You can do this however you like, but we find it simplest to use a spray bottle with Star San solution in it. Before inserting the racking arm into the port, we recommend spraying the inside and outside with sanitizer, then placing into the port to make sure it's fully sanitized. Next, sanitize the entire interior surface of the fermenter as well as the lid and silicone ring. Rest the lid on the fermenter until ready to use after your brew. For this example, we brewed an extract batch of our popular Dragon Silk Imperial Stout beer recipe kit, which we chilled with an immersion wort chiller, then transferred to the reactor using a sanitized tube. Best practice here is to keep the lid over as much of the fermenter as possible during the transfer process, but for the sake of the example for the video, we wanted you to see inside the fermenter. Whether you do this via a transfer tube or pour the wort into the fermenter directly from your kettle, the graduation volume marks are super helpful in seeing exactly how much wort or beer you have in the fermenter. In this case, we did need to top off with about 1 gallon of water after our partial volume boil. The large opening of the reactor also makes it easy to oxygenate with Puro 2-in-1, pitch yeast, which for this big brew was 2 packs of yeast, and make any additions such as firm cap. Once filled, firmly fit the lid into place using the 4 clamps and make sure that the airlock has water or sanitizer in it. The reactor does feature sturdy handles for minimal moving and lifting, but we do suggest placing your fermenter in the fermentation area prior to filling it. One last thing to point out for brew day, the sample port is great for taking a wort sample for an original gravity reading of the brew. We also suggest you tip the airlock and stopper ever so slightly to create a small gap when pulling samples from the port to avoid pulling any excess liquid out of your airlock into the fermenter. If your fermenter is at an elevated place, it's easy to open the valve and get the hydrometer sample full. If you're fermenting on the ground, place the hydrometer at an angle under the valve and slowly open it. When the test jar is about 3/4 full, close the valve and move the test jar. A spray bottle of Star San solution comes in handy here to sanitize the inside and outside of the bar valve. Once fermentation begins, you'll see bubbles coming out of the airlock as CO2 escapes the tightly sealed fermenter. While we do recommend you keep the fermenter closed, again, for the sake of example, we want to show you the inside of the reactor. With the lid off, you can see the krausen coming up to just about the 6-gallon mark. There's still plenty of headroom in the fermenter, even for the aggressive fermentations of this higher gravity beer, without risk of blow off through the airlock. When fermentation is complete, bubbles will stop in the airlock. Another look underneath the lid shows that the surface of the beer is flat. All krausen and yeast have fallen out into the cone. And there's a ring of dark foam on the inner wall that shows how far the krausen had come up during fermentation. Use the sample port once again to confirm that fermentation is complete when gravity readings are consistent. We got a final gravity reading of 1.023 3 days in a row, which would indicate that it's done fermenting. Your recipe might call for additions directly to the fermenter. Could be more hops during fermentation or dry hops after fermentation, maybe additional sugars or spice additions. In the case of Dragon Silk, we soaked oak cubes in bourbon and then added them directly to the fermenter to rest for a few days to a week, depending on your preferred taste. After all fermentation and conditioning is complete, it's time to package your beer. If you need to move it, carefully move the reactor to a surface that for safety we suggest not be above waist height. Now you can transfer your beer into bottles, kegs, or another secondary fermenter. For bottling, the sample port is going to cut down on a lot of work and dirty equipment. Sanitize the port valve, bottle filler, and a short piece of 3/8-inch tubing. When bottling off of the fermenter like this, you'll want to use fizz drops. Place a fizz drop into each sanitized bottle and insert the bottle filler and start filling. Once full, cap the bottle and continue filling as many bottles as you like or need. The sample port is also handy for transferring beer to a keg. Using a longer length of sanitized tubing for this, connect it to the valve, open the valve, and run off right into the keg. Easy, hands-free racking. After racking the beer, you'll see just how much leftover trub and yeast cake did not make it into your beer. The shape of the cone bottom helps separate the beer you want from the junk that you do not want. Time to clean once again. Blast the reactor with warm or hot water a few times to break up any trub and dump it into the sink. In this batch, our trub also included oak cubes that was added. Scrub away any larger or tougher clumps of krausen as well. Use as much cleaning agent as needed and fill the fermenter to soak to remove any stubborn gunk. You can also soak the racking arm, airlock, and any tubing used during racking in the fermenter at this time. Let it sit, then drain, rinse, and allow to dry with both ball valves open until the next time you need it. We also offer an upgraded temperature control lid for the reactor that features a thermal well, chilling coils, and a port for an airlock. The thermal well allows for precise control of your fermentation temperature, one of the key ways to improve your homebrew beer or homemade wine. Paired with a temp controller, you can control both heating and cooling of the system. Adding a heat wrap is an easy way to add heating to the conical. The cooling coils feature 1/2-inch NPT connections, making it easy to connect to a glycol chiller or simply to pump chilled water through. In this video, we walked you through a brew day using the reactor, but the reactor is not limited to just beer. It's perfect for wine fermentations, cider fermentations as well, or even mead fermentations. A lot of the feedback that we're getting from customers is they love it for the ease of cleaning and sanitizing, and also super easy to transfer out of. A lot of people love just transferring straight to that keg for that quicker kegging day. The Reactor stainless steel conical fermenter is now available on northernbrewer.com.